You know, the resilience of plants can really be an impressive thing. Well, this looks to me like a radish, no doubt in my mind. I didn't plant that there. That radish was pulled up out of the garden, which is on the other side of all that garbage. And it sat here on the picnic table for a couple days until one of the kids threw it down here in the hole. And I'll be darned if that thing didn't root up and is trying to grow again. But we've got something more important to talk about today. We have a mission. I just got shipping confirmation on something I'm very excited about. 103 potential blackberry plants. And we're going to show you a little bit more as we get them in the ground. Hang on just a second. Okay, well, you guys know how it goes. Had to help fix your little boots. Hi, Mare Bear. Two of the most beautiful little farm girls you've ever seen. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying, I've ordered 100 blackberry root cuttings from Pence Brothers Nursery, and I'm new to them. Never heard of them before I found them on the internet. And I got 3, I think they're called thornless primocane varieties. We can talk more about that later. But anyway, the real important thing about this project is the root cuttings, because you don't hear about it very often anymore. You go looking anywhere online, any seed catalog, all they want to sell you is the plant, the live plant. Okay, here you go. All they want to sell you is the live plant. And they're a bit expensive. if I dare say so, they're a bit expensive because you're buying a lot of dirt. Well, maybe not. Maybe even if it's a bare root cutting. But anyway, let's just say, for example, why I didn't want to do this. You want to go to any local nursery, pick your store, I don't care, and you're going to buy a little 1-gallon pot with a blackberry plant in it. You're buying dirt. You're buying a plant that is a year, maybe 2 years old. And I've seen them $10 to $15 per plant. You're going to get like $1 worth of blackberries off of it, maybe. It doesn't make sense, and it's getting that way more and more and more. Tomato plants, pepper plants, lettuce plants, for Christ's sakes. People are sprouting corn plants.
Can you buckle my jacket?
Yes, I'll get your jacket in a second. So anyway, I'm snooping around the other day on the internet, and I find this advertisement through Pence Brothers for blackberry root cuttings. I've done it myself before, dug them up. I just never had seen somebody market it. So I actually called them and I asked about it, and I said, why is it that you don't hear more about this? And they said, oh, well, it's just, that's kind of the way of the industry. Everybody wants to buy a living green plant. People are scared to buy just a root cutting. And they're very clear about it on their website. They say, germination 60 to 80%. But here's the thing. I got 100 root cuttings for $65. That's 65 cents a piece. Now, I haven't done all the math, but basically, well, I'll tell you what I had to do. I had to buy $75 minimum to get free shipping, and so that's why I did the 100 root cuttings plus the 3 Primarks. They were $3.50 a piece, so that got me $75.50 or something. Anyway, it got me free shipping, so we're just gonna say $75, right? Is what I had to spend to get these plants to the house. 75 cents a piece. If 10 of them, if only 10 of them sprout, $7.50. So if 20 of them grow, that's $15. That's 1 retail plant, depending on where you get it. You see what I'm getting at? I got 20 for the price of 1. I got 100 for the price of 5. That's my point. A potential 100 for the price of 5. So, quick math, I got, 100 for the price of 5. Isn't that what I said? Something like that. Anyway, the girls are fussing. They're bored because they want to go for a ride. So let's get out here to the garden. Let's get some tilling done, and let's get ready to plant some blackberries. All right. First order of business is we got to fix this low tire on the tiller. It was actually flat. It's up a little bit now. I couldn't hardly get it to take air earlier. The pressure tank was just real low, so I had to go back and fill it back up and get a little more. Bear, get your ponytail out of that camera. A rock stuck in there. There's one leak out back here on the backside. All the air I'm putting in is coming back out, girls.
Charlie is coming back out.
It'll be my luck. I'd probably have to go like get a new tiller tire or something.
And
Aggravating. Okay, true to form. I missed the cool footage, the fun footage, but I got the tire pumped up here. And I just used the trick that I've learned as a young man. I'd say most young men these days wouldn't know it, but you just take a strap, ratchet strap, put it around the perimeter of your tire basically, and ratchet it down real tight, and that will squeeze that bead back out. These are tubeless tires. The bead was broken, so I was trying to pump it up and all the air was just blowing around the bead. But put that strap on there, popped right up. So let me show you what the Blackberry plan is, and I'm going to show you and I'm going to tell you, but I really don't know what it is myself. But basically, you know, I've planted a whole bunch more in the orchard here, and I want to be able to utilize the space within the orchard if I can, where I can. Now for right now, my little road cuts right across here, and then we'll turn around 180 degrees, and my road just kind of wanders in through here and goes through the orchard. And that's just because right now going around by the beehives is really muddy. I need to get that built up a little bit more so it won't hold water. So I can't block off my road, but I'm trying to find anywhere that I can to plant these blackberry plants, because I've got a lot of them coming. I'm going to put them about 1 foot on centers, but that still means that I need 100 feet of row. And so I'm trying to basically tally up 100 feet here in the orchard. So I can cut across from here, can run across to here, can run across to that corner tree, and then I can come across to this tree, and I guess I can go across to that tree by the tiller. If I get my compost pile moved, I can come from this tree across to this tree, and so on and so forth. So I'm just trying to find where I can basically build a hedge of blackberries without impacting my current road, because I have to be able to get, this is the only way that I can get around over to the sawmill with the tractor. So I can't, you know, just cut off this area. I've got to be able to get through here. So I'm gonna fire up the tiller. I'm just gonna start cutting ditches. And what I'm doing today, as I told you guys before, this dirt, you know, it's not good stuff. It packs real hard. So I'm gonna go through with the tiller. I'm gonna bust a row as deep as I can get with the tiller. I'm gonna shovel that loose dirt back out. I'm gonna fill it all back in with this composted cow manure, and then when the blackberry root cuttings show up, we're gonna plant those right into the composted cow manure. So they'll be happy for sure their first year anyway. That's the plan. Let's get this tiller going. Let's see what we can get done. This tiller might be a little moody. It's been a few months since I've started it, but neutral, choke. It's on a low throttle. It's not quite stopped all the way, so let's see what we can do. What? To be fair, I had pulled the handle twice before I started the video, but I think I pulled, uh-oh. Well, better not celebrate. Better get this thing running first. Using this tiller very much, to be honest with you guys. I think I've aired out my frustrations in the past on it. It's just really cumbersome, especially on uneven ground. Anyway, it's getting the job done that I need to get done. Girls, no fighting. Please, no fighting. I think they're tucking radish flowers in their pants. So anyway, it's getting what done, and this is actually really loose here because I piled up wood chips here a year ago. I know I'm gonna hit harder spots other places, but anyway, I need to get some earplugs. I'm gonna kind of just dig through this with my hands. It felt like it's really loose, and if it is, on this stuff, you know, I don't really want to shovel it out and waste it. I might shovel it out, throw some cow manure in the bottom, and then shovel it back in. I don't know. But I'm just going to keep doing that same thing, like I told you, just between every row of trees wherever I can until I feel like I've got about 100 foot worth of row dug up. And then the blackberry should be here in a couple days, and we'll get them in the ground. Okay, so I took the tiller for a run through it here. This is actually the second row. The first row is over there. And that was really loose with wood chips. This one had more clay in it, and it's a little wet. We've had pretty consistent rains. It's a little wetter than I like, so it's a little gooey, but I think it'll be okay. This particular spot is also low. Now it will drain off. There's kind of a little ditch that runs right there. It'll drain, but I'm gonna just heap this high with cow manure instead of just putting a, you know, bed. I'm gonna just kind of just lay it in here pretty liberal. You know, if nothing else, just for filler material. So I don't hardly have space to just come in and dump it, and I don't want to just flat out dump it just because it's maybe a little more than I want. I don't know. Maybe I'm making excuses. But anyway, I'm gonna get this row filled in with manure. I really just wanted to show you guys kind of how the bottom of it looked. It's pretty cakey clay. So this manure hopefully will help loosen it up and keep it loose, and of course it's full of nutrients. So let's get this laid in here, and we've got to do several more like that to get ready for these blackberries. Yay! Okay, so our blackberry plants and roots have arrived. And again, these are from Pence Nursery. Prior to ordering these, I had no idea who Pence Nursery was. So this is kind of new and exciting. We'll just see how it is. Here are the root cuttings. Don't look fancy, right? Just look like a bunch of roots. And I can't remember what variety those were. They were Arapaho maybe, or Apache. And then these here are the 3 blackberry plants. Now these are prime arc primocane varieties. So it's a thornless, upright primocane. Everything I got is thornless and upright, but the primocanes, of course, fruit on first year's canes. All of the roots are, they say they're Apaches. Yeah, they're Apaches. It says it right there on the label. So the roots are Apaches. I couldn't remember. I think I asked for Arapahos and then changed my mind to Apache. That's what it was. But anyway, they're thornless floricane, which floricane is the normal one for those of you that aren't familiar. Natural, normal blackberries are floricanes. Primocanes are a new, I guess they're a hybrid or selective breeding. I don't really know what you'd call them. But a new breeding effort. So I'm just going to untie those, set them down there in the bottom. I'm going to get my primocanes done first, just because there's the 3 of them. And I'm going to put them over here. And I want to kind of have them somewhere that I can keep track of them. And ideally keep them a little bit isolated. So I wanted to put them over here kind of on their own. I don't want to get them mixed up in the future, is the only thing. Go figure. What's a little more twine out here? All the twine I've got from my neighbor not cutting his hay strings off. Freedom, Primark Freedom. I thought they were called Primarks, but this says they're Primark Freedom. Anyway, we're gonna drop them. Let's see. Yeah, no, you can't pull that off there. Ooh, they got some roots on them. Not really a whole lot to do with them here. This ground is just nasty. I got pretty much the worst day possible to be planting plants of any sort. Just gooey, all the soil's just sticky and nasty. That's that. It's supposed to rain today or tomorrow or something, so I don't know when it doesn't rain anymore. So those are in. 3 cute little fellas. Hopefully they flush some new growth here real soon. Make me feel a little better about it. Now all the roots I'm going to do in these rows. I mentioned this already, how I was going to do it. Now I've kind of already started cutting the rows in a little bit. The kids and I planted all the flowers, but just kind of re-dig it here. Hopefully don't turn up any flower bulbs. I think I'm leaving enough room. All right, now most planting literature says for the root cuttings, I don't know, a foot, 2 feet apart. We're basically just going to drop them in, I think, back to back. And I don't think there's really any rhyme or reason as to why they go where they go. Seems a little odd because they just seem like little dead twigs, but they seem very woody compared to, you know, like another root variety like an asparagus or something that's got a lot of roots on it. They just seem more flexible. These are really rigid. Like I said, the germination said 60 to 80%. I'm basically gonna lay them in here like it's 25%. I don't know. I'm just gonna put them all in these rows. That's all there is to it. I'm not gonna go digging up more rows today, not in this weather. What I'll do is, you know, really more than anything, I just wanted to get this blackberry patch going this year. I wanted to get it established. So if this is planted way too dense, that's okay. I'll dig up and transplant later. You get the idea there. Not really putting anything too scientific behind it. Just throwing them in there. That was maybe a quarter of the bundle, which would be good. I'm gonna go on down and do the rest. All right, so there's your look at all the little boogers in the row. And now we're just gonna get them right back in here. I don't know why this is scarier to me than planting other seeds, you know, but it just seems weird. It just seems like you're putting a dead stick in the ground. Seeds somehow seem to carry promise, even though they're just as dried out and, you know, dormant. And like I said, if just half of them survive, it'll be more blackberries than I know what to do with. That's the goal. Have more than I can handle versus not enough. More than I can handle means the birds get them, or the ground gets them. Not enough means I ain't got enough. Actually, I dare say not enough means the birds still get them. I just don't get any. All right, well, we'll get over here and cover up the other side and we'll be done. And I will be absolutely sure to give you guys an update when they start coming up out of the ground.